Huge.
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 White Lightning.
Welcome
we can do
to
it.
the Lightning Cast.
There you go. Welcome to the Lightning Cast.
We're in
with your hosts.
another new studio.
Another new studio, new location on site. Where we at?
We're actually, this is pretty much like doing a WeWork office or something.
What is that?
Because we like jump around from office to office. Like, you know, the WeWork model where they, like a big company, just you have like a subscription for this
Please
company.
explain. I have
Yeah,
And
no
then
idea
you can
what you're
just
talking about.
rent out spaces, office spaces around in different. It's like an Airbnb for office space.
Oh, so it's
basically.
like
I've never heard of
digital nomading, but like
Yeah.
corporate digital nomading.
Yeah, corporate
Oh,
digital nomading.
That's kind of
but-
weird.
But the company's going bankrupt. But anyways, that was the side topic. I thought you guys knew about it. That was the side
No,
topic.
no.
All right. Yeah.
Very out of the
It is
loop.
interesting though. That is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I could see a lot of issues with that though, or at least like it
probably
would
why
be
they're going
weird.
bankrupt.
With,
That's
yeah.
probably why they're going bankrupt. Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw them and they probably talked about it too. Like, nah, there won't be a problem. Then you have somebody first time hearing about it. It's like, that's never going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Goes
Like,
bankrupt.
So like anyone from any company can go to say that this was an office space and WeWork owned it. You just have like a WeWork account and you can walk into any office and then you have your desk set up and you can like work there.
Nice.
Wild.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Was that like a COVID thing?
I think he was trying to do it pre-COVID and then COVID messed it up and then he tried to redo it and then it just died. Yeah. But
Give
it's
it a good
pretty
shot.
interesting. Yeah. It's cool.
Okay.
Anyways.
So
All right,
what's
anyways, side
Well,
topic.
Bitcoin's going crazy right now?
Well, no. Let's take a step back.
Yeah.
Why are we here? Why aren't we at our office?
I don't need an office.
Guys,
It's 2024.
the office is gone. We
No more office.
yeah, we decided to I don't know, part ways is the best, I think, way to
Enact a break clause with our lease.
Yeah.
No, just
I know
well,
we
yes.
didn't technically do that, but
yeah.
we talked with our landlord.
Basically, we realized we weren't really using the office. Most of us weren't really working there. And sometimes the only reasons why we were is because we put our equipment in there. And then once we took it out, it was just a
That's-
closet that we were paying
Yeah.
rent on.
Yeah,
You know?
that's literally what happened with me.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys think about that? Any learnings from that? Anything that
I think because we left it open when we even got the office and when we started the four of us together. R.I.P. Isaiah. Just kidding. He's sick.
oh yeah, Isaiah's sick. Shout out Isaiah.
That we left it open ended that we would have a shared working space.
Yeah.
And I think that opportunity to leave it open as like, yeah, work wherever. If you've got stuff at home, cool. That just left it, that made it too easy to not utilize the space to its potential.
Yeah.
We tried to make it easy by having it in the middle of everybody. We found a small enough space that we could all afford. Like we did all those things, but we all eventually ended up doing a lot of the work from home still. We worked together on projects, but we were there for collaboration every now and then.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
mostly just for the podcast, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
where we actually had to be in person together.
Those were
Right.
like the most mandatory
Yeah.
days were
Yeah.
like mandatory days. It was like, all right, we're going to record today. So let's show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd show up.
What I think is it was very similar to like just the corporate culture now. Like if you're not required to come into the office, no one's actually going to the office. All the
right.
employees are fighting about like staying and working from home and they want to return back to the office. So I feel like it's just a microcosm of that playing out.
That is
you
a
know?
good point.
Yeah.
Not having
Yeah.
those like you said, being too lenient with ourselves and
Yeah.
maybe just too open ended.
Yeah.
But I think it was a good learning experience, more in the sense of how we all work individually and
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And I think moving forward, that's gonna help us out a lot. So
It definitely gives us more to reflect on the next time we make
Decide
a
to make a
move
bigger
together and
decision.
do
Yeah.
something together.
Yeah.
Kind of be like, all right, are we actually going to show up? Are we actually going to
Yeah.
have some project that
Yeah.
requires all four of us?
The other
we
side
had-
of it.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, we just had stuff that we could do individually.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing. Like we didn't come together in the idea of we have one project and the four of us need to contribute together on it.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
we all have things we want to work on. Let's get a space together so we can have an office. So
Yeah.
I didn't have to work at my house where I
Yeah.
didn't want to have an office necessarily.
And truthfully, sorry to cut you off again.
good.
Man, truthfully, with the one project that we did have, that we actually did kind of get some use out of the office
Yeah.
for, and could have
Yeah.
been maybe one of the only reasons to really keep the office.
I think it would have been.
You know, that project hasn't really materialized to anything.
Yeah.
However, it
Yet.
definitely did show that if we have one common project, one common goal,
Mhm.
having a space that we can collaboratively share is beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just kind of have to sit down and figure out what that is,
Yeah.
and what that's going to be, what
Yeah.
that looks like. But
Yeah.
we'll get there. We're getting there.
I was just gonna say the exact same thing. That project was the ideal scenario for us to use that office.
Yeah.
And then second to that is probably we don't have any equipment that needs a lot of space. Like everything
No.
can just fit in our own bedrooms. To be honest, like our 3D printers.
The biggest thing I would have loved is to have
Yeah.
the CNC somewhere. So I
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
noisy with it. But
Yeah. But you can't even set up the CNC there.
No.
So, yeah.
well, I could disassemble that whole table and put it into that room.
No, but noise level wise is what I was thinking.
Saturdays.
You think?
come on.
Yeah.
Weekends.
Yeah.
Well, at least if other office hours were down, I could probably justify being like, all right, I'm gonna be noisy for the first 4 hours today.
True.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Probably maybe not around this time since it's tax season, and a lot of those people are like tax people.
all right, so April 16th, I would have just obliterated
I
that
don't
office.
know. Were you actually thinking about it though? I didn't know if you
At
were.
one point, yeah, because it was if I had made bigger moves sooner, I think with the project with the Mustang,
Mhm.
then I maybe even would have wanted to personally justify another one of those rooms because the
Oh,
thing's messy. It would throw chips everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not going to put that with our computers and everything else. It would just get into everything.
Okay. Yeah.
But that was something that I was kind of toying with that idea.
Yeah.
I could go talk to my be like, hey, how about like a better deal on 2 rooms?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay.
And
but
and
it would be a huge pain to bring that machine up there for one thing, and to take apart the table again.
Yeah.
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 So
And truthfully, I think out of everything, what I think I took away from it the most is that communication is the most important thing. Because, like, we didn't burn any bridges with our landlord or anything like that.
Yeah.
And we actually had a really good, just kind of talk.
exit
and then-
interview.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically a
Exit
little exit
interview, yeah.
interview to kind of, and he was very, just
He was
backed us up.
understanding.
I
He
think
chilled
that's
it.
the
Was
best way to explain it was
Yeah.
just he saw 4 young guys hungry and looking to do something.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, whatever, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
And
He worked with us.
Yeah.
To figure it out. So
it was
good.
very nice. So maybe, who knows, maybe in the future it's a contact that we have.
I mean, hell, if something happens with that other proposal we sent out,
Yeah.
and we realized, all right, we could afford that space too.
Yeah.
We could probably more easily talk to him and be like, hey, we've got a reason to
Yeah.
be back now.
Yeah.
Like, can we
Yeah.
get another
Yeah.
room?
And actually, if we win that contract, that would pay for the entire year's worth of rent
Yeah.
for that place. So,
So
yeah.
it could be like rent free
Yeah.
while we work on this project.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a couple other
so
projects.
it's good we didn't burn a bridge.
Yeah.
It's basically it's
Yeah.
good we didn't just like, all right, we're not gonna pay. We definitely don't do that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
a very
no.
bad thing to
I
do.
remember from my old job, that's one of the things that my old boss had mentioned, that when he was when they were younger and he was like a hungry young guy in like this construction industry, that he was very brash and very aggressive.
Yeah.
And he burnt a lot of bridges, and he's like, I've learned.
Yeah.
It doesn't work well. I learned from my mistakes, but yeah, that's one of the things he was just like, yeah, just don't burn bridges. Don't.
That's like the
Don't be
thing
that
I'm
guy.
hopefully going to help with my last job out. I got a text from my old boss.
Yeah.
And he asked if where I was living, and I told him I'm down in Orlando, and he is asking if I can help transport a car for an event for one of their sponsored drivers.
Oh.
So yeah, so I'm going to try and help basically be like a pit crew for the guy while he's here. It's a Monster Energy sponsored guy.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, look up
You want me to look
Actually,
it up while
no,
you
here we
speak?
go. I can do one.
He's got it. Well, basically, so we're sitting at work, right?
Yeah.
And just minding my own business. And then Dalton's just like, dude, come here.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And he's like, look at this. And he shows me his phone.
Yeah.
And it's just like his old boss's name and just like this long ass text. And I'm like, oh, just reading through. And I'm
Yeah.
like, because the initial text was like, hey, are you still in Orlando?
Oh.
Like, and he's like, yeah, why? What's up?
Yeah.
And then it took a while for him to kind of reply.
Yeah.
So we're just like hovering in that, just wait, just
Yeah.
that anticipation. But yeah, it was cool that it was good news.
Hold on. I'm trying to get. Basically, I'm trying to specifically find this guy's page, and it definitely doesn't want to come up. But that's
My algorithm.
yeah. I don't think it's gonna. This should help.
But yeah, just talk about not burning bridges.
Yeah.
We've even in previous podcasts.
It took me 2 seconds to find this. On
Maybe
my thing, so
images?
I don't. Yeah.
That him?
Okay. So, I used to work for Sicky, which is on his front lip of his
Ooh,
S
yeah.
chassis. He's in the UK, and he's got
Okay.
an LS swapped S chassis. And he's got, I think that's, yeah, that one's LS swapped too.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an LS swapped R35 GTR.
Nice.
But he's in town for Daytona Supercross.
Oh.
And so he, I guess, needs a car to mess around with because it's super great. It's not, there's nothing to do with cars, but he's
Yeah.
there as it's Monster is one of the big sponsors. So he's sponsored by Monster. So he's here in the States and needs a car to drive. So he doesn't ship a car just for a weekend.
Oh.
So my old boss is shipping a car down to me and then trusting me to transport it to Daytona and then be his kind of crew for the weekend.
That's
So I
sick.
just change tires and stuff,
Yeah.
basic stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I will be there March
That's
2nd.
sick.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I'm gonna go rent a U-Haul truck and trailer and roll up there.
Transport it. Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be pretty sick.
That's no. Yeah.
It's
you should definitely not burn bridges. Then.
It's Sicky's R&D Infinity G37 LS swap.
Is this the first time they're doing this, or do they do this?
No,
every
I think
year?
he's done it for some other stuff. He's done it for he said it might have been for Bagsy again, but it was like a NASCAR event. So he was at Daytona for another reason. Had like
That's sick.
yeah, so he was just there
That's
hanging
cool.
out. So yeah, so I
Yeah.
don't know what all is going to happen that weekend, but I will be busy driving up to Daytona, which I don't know if I'll probably work 410s that week. I'm gonna guess I need to be there Friday.
Oof. Calling out sick again.
Yeah.
That'll probably happen. Still work
Feeling
40.
kinda sick
Still
already.
work 40. A lot of sick people in the office.
Yeah.
Just took me a while.
Bunch of
Oh
sick
my
people
God.
at the office.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Has it been like that at your place too?
We have one guy out. Another guy was out a couple weeks ago. And then Troy is also sick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got tested for the vid.
Yeah.
Vid
The vid.
monster.
Yeah.
Positivo or negativo?
Positive for sure.
Oof.
Yeah.
So I don't know where he's doing stuff, but he'll probably
Sick.
maybe he'll be
that
back
is so cool.
with like a burn box or something somewhere doing some crazy stuff. But
That's really cool.
yeah, so I'll be at Daytona first weekend of March. Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't. So yeah, he'll be driving a G37, but he's got this S chassis that he drives, and a R35.
That's gonna be
It's
sick.
pretty sick. Yeah.
That's,
So I'll be.
so
his
how many
little-
days is that event for?
I think it's 2
The
days. I think I'm
weekend?
gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably Friday, Saturday is my
Okay.
guess.
Yeah.
Whatever March 2nd is. Let's get
Yeah.
I was telling Dalton that he's got to
So-
finish his car for that weekend so
Saturday.
that he can just pull up and just be like, check it out.
Yeah.
Look
I
at
think
look at
the
this shit,
timeline
shit.
works, right?
My goal is end of this month. So yeah,
Yeah.
that would be ideal. Would be that I'm done with it so that I could drive it up. Be a
That would
good
be
it'd be a
sick.
good road trip test
Yeah.
thing too. Drive around town. Like, it's
I
like,
mean, I get.
I could drive the U-Haul. You could drive yours.
yeah.
Drive your car right in front.
maybe. What you could drive my car.
A two-mat.
It's an automatic.
It'll be an
Yeah, it's
automatic.
automatic now.
Yeah, that's what I
Nice.
said.
Anybody could drive it.
Sweet. All right.
Mindset changes. Yeah, I'll drive it.
Okay.
Yes,
of course.
I can
of
drive
course.
it.
So yeah, so that was another case of don't burn bridges. Like I gave my last job like a month notice.
Oh,
I
you
was
did?
like, if you need time to find somebody, I
Yeah.
can help train, finish up what I'm doing.
Yeah.
yada yada. And it wasn't we left on good terms. It's just I wasn't planning on being in Maryland
Yeah.
for the rest of my life, so I had the chance to leave, so I left.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a spot where I can help transport cars for race car drivers.
And you never know what's gonna arise from there.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Maybe there's
Yeah.
other events that we'll end up doing if they do anything at like Sebring or
Yeah.
there's St. Petersburg.
Yeah,
they do
you
stuff
could be
for New
the
Orleans.
Southeast guy.
Be a Southeast rep.
Yeah.
Wear my sicky gear.
Yeah. We should probably print a bunch of keychains and just hand them out.
Dude, that's what I was telling him. That we got to print something. We got to
Yeah.
make something to.
Yeah.
Well,
Some
I
sort of
have the
swag.
Daytona
We have the
racetrack
Daytona.
keychains.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
We'll
I'm
just
retarded.
print like
Print those.
100 of those.
Just,
and
print-
just
just
hand
run
them
through
out.
whatever filament for
Yeah.
those 4 colors and be like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. I'll bring a box of them.
That would
Just
be-
get one filament of each color and just run
Run
the
it.
entire roll. However
Yeah.
many that makes. And you just,
get a
it's like what, $60?
NASCAR keychains.
Yeah, probably.
3 colors, right?
Yeah.
Red, white, blue?
No, I did 4.
4 colors. Okay.
And it's
$80.
yeah, use all 4 because it's blue, white, red, and yellow
Oh,
for
okay.
the NASCAR one.
Yeah. Okay. That's true.
We
That would be
gotta
sick. I like
I
that.
could do the math on like a print bed, see how much each one uses.
we gotta figure out something that we can either like have the keychain on, or just some things that has our logo. Because the keychains don't.
Can we
they
emboss
don't have
something on the
anything.
other side? Because this is
I could
NASCAR,
just
so
just
it's-
change the file. and
Ah.
just-
Oh, I mean,
I could put the
yeah.
logo on the back of it.
Yeah, something
that.
like that.
I think
Just-
you can do that on some. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
but
go ahead.
I think you could do that on some slicers. You
Yeah,
don't need
you-
to go back into the model.
Yeah, we can do that on Bamboo. We can add text to the model.
Oh, you have showed me that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
having to actually edit.
So when
the-
you just import one, flip it, do it on the others, copy paste.
Yeah, just
and then
copy them
just reorientate.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we could do that.
Yeah.
that'd be sweet.
I'll wear them like a necklace.
Yeah.
Just hang around, clink.
Keychains here, get your keychains here.
yeah. Popcorn, water bottles, and keychains. Repping a different company. It's just so weird.
No one needs to know.
It's like, dude, you're associated
Different
with how
industries.
many companies?
Different industries.
Damn, sell out.
For real.
Double time sell out.
Work in the system.
Working it.
But yeah, so that'd be cool. I'm excited to do that.
That's really cool. Yeah. I wish I got some like offers like that, but I guess it didn't work for any companies that made like car parts. That'd be neat. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's hard too with like maybe because your last job was well, not your last job, but the job
His
before.
last job he did sheet metal.
Last job before our job.
Yeah.
You were doing like construction, right? Because it was like with
I
the
just jumped around industries
yeah. So
a little bit.
in construction, there's no, especially with the engineering side of it, there's no real like, oh, here's my contact. They're gonna hook me up with something. It's like
No.
fucking shutters. Like, what are you
Yeah.
gonna hook me up with?
Sick.
Some I-beams.
Last
Last job's like,
shutters?
yo, hit me
Yo,
with that new
shingles?
sink design.
You
Some
looking,
shingles?
you looking for an I-beam, bro? I got like
Listen, if you got me some lumber, now
I'll make you a
that's a friend.
bitchin' header.
true.
That
It
is a
looks
friend.
so sick.
Bitch.
2x6s,
2x6.
Solid. solid.
No, but
Yeah.
like my previous workplace, that's a good contact to have. I didn't necessarily leave with the best terms because technically I should have given a 2-week notice, but I took vacation on the last week. But
I knew
don't
somebody
think
else
they
that
really
did that.
cared.
So
I don't think they really cared.
No,
don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't
They
know.
didn't
you don't
seem
get
like
bad
they did.
mouths, so I mean that's good.
No.
Okay.
Everyone's
that's
like,
good.
oh, I can't believe Fistful did that.
Yeah.
Especially because it's almost coming up on a year. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think in general they would have been upset if you would have left the project kind of like open ended
Mm,
and then just kind of left it
Yeah.
like as a shit show.
300 Brickle.
was it Brickle?
That was one of them.
Was it a shit show?
Yes.
Yes. Was that
Well,
because
the
of me?
Beaucaire
Or the
job,
PM?
too.
I was gonna talk about Beaucaire because of
That
that
was one,
fucking
too.
pillar in the island.
Low key, you concepted your stuff when
Yeah.
you turn it in. The meet that if you forgot, that also means you didn't do any electrical.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, then the PM, one of the PMs decided to release it.
Yeah.
So
No.
then they had to hand cut in a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
because
yeah,
nobody
yeah,
checked it. Yeah,
yeah.
that
Pretty
happened.
much
Yeah,
every
that
receptacle
happened.
So-
and every
Yeah.
control box.
That's the only project I left
Higher
on.
management wasn't mad at you, but Izzy
Yeah.
was pissed.
Izzy was pissed. All right. I
Yeah.
can make up. I'll take it.
all the electrical guys come in. There's no cutouts, dog.
Well, what happened with that job as well is that project manager decided to just release a job
Yeah.
without even going through electrical.
Yeah,
We never
but,
gave it to that
but the project
department.
manager just had trust in me, I guess, to do that because he trusted me to talk to the other project manager and keep track of all the red lines.
Better
Dude,
not be.
I don't know how
putting
that
trust
happened
in
to you.
designers. Crazy.
I don't know how that happened to you. You don't know how
Yeah.
that happened to me. I feel like if
What,
you
being
work,
DT's minion?
I feel
No,
like
just
if
in
you-
general, like
This
being
wasn't
minion
DT
like
though.
that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I feel like I do remember
Scott's minion.
when when we came into the company.
Yeah.
There was that kind of dynamic where the
Mm.
PMs would go to specific people and be like, "Hey, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? Can you do this for me?" That
Yeah.
kind of has stopped. That
Oh, it
ceased.
stopped now?
I
Yeah,
think-
it's
okay.
not as
I-
prevalent.
I think
I knew.
Mr. Hutch was a big proponent of stop doing that.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
pissed.
And
He
they
was-
He's like,
put
you
an
give
end
them
to
to
it.
me, I
Yeah.
will give them out.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't get to just pick.
yeah.
Yeah, because then everyone's projects kept getting pushed back because like
Yeah.
you would get a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Because I remember you would interface sometimes with even customers and have to like
Yeah.
email them and go
Yeah.
back and forth and stuff. And it was
I-
like,
Yeah, I think it was just we were receptive because Troy was kind of like this too, and we were receptive of like, sure, I'll take on more responsibility.
yeah,
Yeah.
But that's when it's like a
And the PM's like,
pitfall.
sweet,
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
it's a pitfall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
One of our
give a little,
coworkers
get a
is-
lot.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you told me you were gonna go on site for.
I got a
one of
universal
those-
badge.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sick.
Pretty sick.
Yeah. So have you been? Have you been?
No, not yet.
No.
Next
Oh.
week.
Oh, okay.
How long did it take you to get that badge?
Oh,
So I'm going next week with Scott to a universally known project. I'll leave it like that.
I think you could say where you're
I
going.
signed stuff. I don't know.
Oh,
if I can.
oh. Well, I don't think you could talk about what's
It's
going
a universally
on.
known project.
All right.
That
yeah.
is being worked on.
universally known. Yeah.
So I got my
It's gonna
It's
be
a
pretty,
univer-
it's gonna be a
univer-
pretty huge unveiling.
universal coverage badge because it covers multiple areas.
Some
Mm,
some might say the opening might be even epic.
epic. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good enough.
Anyways,
we got it now.
we got it. We did it.
But I had to go get safety. I had to go get safety training from
Yeah.
the guys who had that specific section of construction. So I had to go to their safety training.
Yeah.
And then it was such a nightmare to PM had tried twice to even get me on the list to get
Yeah.
set up for it.
Mm.
And then they never followed through the first time. So then the second time it was not, then I was CC'd in the email.
Yeah.
So then I sent my info and it's just name and phone number. Not that hard.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was like, all right, we get an email back from the person at that company to set up the training meeting.
Mhm.
Then I get there and I have confirmation from that lady. Her email is that company.
Yeah.
And I get there and the
Okay.
guy's like, I don't have you on the list. I was like, all right, well,
The
the person who sets it up
Yeah.
put me on that list. And I have her saying,
Yeah.
you're added there. Show up at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Show up. He goes, okay, that's fine. You can sit down. I'll still fill out your paperwork stuff. We'll just
Oh.
make sure you add it on later. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that was fine.
Yeah.
PM's thinking I'm going to be there for like less than an hour. It's like hour and 45 minutes goes by. So hungry. And then
Yeah, because this is also when you're like,
I
God,
left
I'm
right
free
before our break. Yeah.
Oh no.
I left right before break.
Yeah.
And so then by the time I get there, it's after break and I bring food because got PM's like, oh, it'll be an hour.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. I'll come back and I'll
Yeah.
get lunch. Be fine.
Yeah.
So then it's like 11:45, almost 12.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, we finish up safety training. He's like, all right, so you guys go right, go out of here, go right, go left,
Yeah.
go right again, and then you go past Chick-fil-A and you'll be there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. I go try and load up directions. Zero service at the building.
Oh
I was
my
like,
god.
cool. This is
Great.
good. All right. Took me a while to get a badge anyways. It was a
Yeah.
fucking ordeal. So
Man,
probably like,
whatever.
I don't want to work at that site.
so this week, what's been happening in the world,
Livery week.
in the world of Formula Uno?
Last night technically was the Visa Cash App RB reveal. The stupidest name. I'm not just bandwagoning it. It's a really bad name. This is AlphaTauri's new
Yeah.
team name.
Oh my
Visa,
God. Are
Visa
you
Cash
serious?
App RB.
Wow. What sellouts? Two
Massive
sponsors.
sellout.
Yeah.
Massive. So that's this guy, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Visa.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but this at least, so this one came out last night. Yeah. Oh, that one. At least it looks like Toro Rosso, so they put good colors on it. But that was last night technically, and they didn't publicize it, and they didn't do a live stream, but they invited a bunch of famous people to Vegas to do it. So it's literally, if you couldn't sell it anymore, like the main headliner for a reveal that
Yeah.
was basically private was Kendrick Lamar. but
What?
nobody knew.
Why
They
Kendrick?
didn't live stream it.
Yeah, what does Kendrick know about F1?
Yeah.
Nothing, but Visa and Cash App probably know a lot, or Hugo Boss, or any of the other massive sponsors they put on here for
Solo
that
dolo.
specific reason. But the first one, which McLaren dropped like super early, which
Yeah.
was just their livery, is on their old car, I think. But
Does it say what month?
they did theirs.
Obviously
January
January,
16th.
but
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
Is it
January
the same?
16.
oh yeah, January 16th.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that was
first one,
surprised. They,
literally
like-
first one.
Like dropped a video. Nobody knew it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they went ahead and did it like way before everybody else.
Really?
Yeah. So that was cool. We got like that early on teaser. So a bunch of like,
I like that. Yeah.
YouTuber guys like were like emergency podcasts. And
Yeah.
so like everyone talked about that. So that one was really good. They liked that one.
I like that one actually.
And then Haas came out and did absolutely nothing. And their team owner, Gene, doesn't give a fuck about their team. So it's fine. This is basically slightly different colors from last year.
Yeah.
And
just-
it's a render.
Darker
So
red.
it's just a car. It's
Yeah.
not even the car. So you don't see any arrow. It's all just blacked
Oh.
out. It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, super exciting to have their new team principal also say, yeah, we're going to probably be last in the first race. Good thumbs up boost from the new team principal.
Motivation.
Yeah. And then Williams.
Williams.
Williams and Stake were at the same day. This was like Friday last week. And then Williams came out, I think, first technically. Theirs is cool. They did like a darker blue than last year, which
I like
was
it.
pretty sweet. And then they went with white jumpsuits. So it's
Oh.
kind of like early 2000s vibe
Yeah.
for jumpsuits.
I
Is
like
what
that color combo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. They're gonna
Yeah,
pop. They're gonna
looks
pop
cool.
in the cockpit.
Yeah,
It's
that
gonna,
navy
it's gonna
blue.
look pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, people liked theirs because I mean, most of that black is probably carbon fiber. So a lot of talk right now is like guys are kind of upset because
Yeah.
there's not much color or vibe. Like,
Right.
oh, worried about weight.
Yeah.
So half of the car is carbon. Like, all right,
Ah.
whatever. So there's a lot of dark colored cars.
Yeah.
There's some memes going around like, oh, F1 grid first race 2024, and just,
It's just
all,
all
black,
black.
cars on the
Carbon
starting
fiber.
grid. Yeah, carbon fiber. And this is like half carbon. So I mean, it's the same kind of thing, but at least they have orange to pop it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of white and black. Eh.
Yeah.
All right. Williams, they have good dark blue on like the front nose and the top, and they got the same Duracell battery. So like that's all good, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of dark spots that are probably going to end up being just carbon fiber.
Yeah. That looks.
That's
fun.
black and green, so that's carbon fiber.
Yep.
But
For sure.
this is
That looks cool. too.
Sauber, which was Alfa
Yeah.
Romero, which is Stake, which at some events will be Kick because online gambling is banned in some countries, so they can't advertise it. So
Oh,
that's what
really?
that K. Yeah, this team name is going to change. If you hear Sauber, it's
Yeah.
also Stake and it's also Kick.
Oh.
So their technical team name is like Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber. It's almost this
Okay.
was the
It's
worst
gibberish.
one,
Yeah.
and then they
gibberish.
dropped Visa Cash App RB and
yeah,
got really mad about that. So this one was cool because it's like a lot of green, but there's
Yeah.
also a lot of steak. Like on the side, it's steak, front wing steak, side steak, just a lot of steak.
That's a lot of.
Saw another meme where it was just a piece of beef rolling around with wheels. Very funny. So,
A T-bone.
but they're in their transition period. Like there's going to be 2 years where it's just this, and then it's going to be the Audi's works team.
oh no
So
way.
yeah, so it's kind of nice that they went bold because they're going green, and
Yeah.
there won't be green 2 years from now. Nobody's green besides Aston, but it's a completely different green.
Yeah.
So they'll at least make a statement visually for like
Yeah.
2 years, and then they'll be gone.
Hmm.
Whatever.
That's interesting.
Unless they buy the Red Bull. Unless they're the title
there
sponsor
talks
of the
of
Red
that?
Bull car. No,
Yeah.
but I mean
Oh.
that second Red Bull
If
car
they're
is
going to
whatever they
sell
want
out
it
to
to be.
Visa
So
Cash App, I mean, why not make it stake, right?
that's what I'm
They're
saying.
revealing everything in Vegas, which is gambling central. So
Yeah.
why not? Alpine came out insanely underwhelming. Everyone hates this from what I'm seeing
Yeah.
online because they have like the most cool color combo you could get with their BWT sponsor.
Yeah.
It's blue and pink. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool. Not a lot of,
blue.
you could do a
Yeah.
lot with it.
Yeah.
Do you see how dark that car is?
That is.
They
very
painted
dark.
like the logo on the wing and then like
The
some
back.
of the engine cover and the wing. Otherwise, it's basically black.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
no,
like,
I-
oh, cool. That was super underwhelming.
Yeah.
That was horrible. And then like, well, let's see the pink one and their live stream. So everyone's like, oh, okay, all right, cool. Because this is the blue one. If you can barely
This
tell
is
that that's
blue?
blue, that's
Yeah.
blue.
Just the front nose, maybe.
Yeah. So imagine what the pink one is.
Oh, just that and yeah.
Everyone got really excited.
Yeah.
And then it was that with some more pink on it.
Oh,
Horrible. So everyone's very pissed at them for that.
they should have
But-
switched the blue out with pink.
To their thing.
I mean, that's what they
That's what they did. But like, it's just this and this.
Oh, just the corner.
So like the logos are
Yeah.
the same.
Uh.
There's a little bit more pink on the back part of it. That's about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
super exciting when they could have done insane stuff. There's a YouTuber guy, Tomo.
Yeah.
He's a British guy, and he does like his version of he like renders out, changes the car design.
Yeah.
So he did one that's like a lot more like gradient pink to blue. Looks really good. Looks nice.
Nice.
What they should have done.
Yeah.
Um,
Too much weight.
yeah. The only thing that they have on their side is that they technically said that they were that's their 2024 car. So that's their
Nice.
That's
That's the
aero
package.
package that should hopefully be showing up at Bahrain in 2 weeks. So that's the cool thing about them. But that was it. Other than that, they basically didn't put any color on the car when they have two bright colors.
Yeah.
Versus, you know.
Missed opportunity right there. That pink would look sick.
Yep. And they've
Like
had that before.
Yeah.
Like, so it's very frustrating that happened. Yeah, there's the pink.
Nice.
So pink.
I mean, it looks a bit better.
I dig it. Like, I like it.
It looks a bit better.
but they
yeah.
could have done so much more. That's what they're frustrated with. Like, how much more paint did the weight really
I do
add?
agree.
Like,
How much
so
weight did the
there's a
paint
lot of talks with like like people would like F1 should just mandate you need like 80% of the car colored. Like,
yeah.
because then it's like you have to do it. They don't
Right.
have to do it because it's not there. They do it for sponsors.
That's
so
true.
if they can get away with it,
Yeah.
then they're not going to do it because it's more weight, so they can save weight.
How much more weight do you think it is?
It's got to be in grams,
Grams,
dog. I
right?
mean, they don't put
Yeah.
that much paint on it,
Yeah.
and I'm sure some of it could be vinyl too. If they get thin enough vinyl on it, then maybe it's even less.
Yeah.
So who knows? But it is. I don't think it should be enough. This is what I was
It's
talking
not
to
a
him
valid
about.
excuse, I don't think.
That's what I was talking to him about. It was
Yeah.
like they also make it sound like when they go to they have a lot of talks of when they go to testing, and they're basically saying, "Oh well, there might be even less because we'll go to testing and realize we're overweight." And I'm like, how do you get through designing a whole new car?
Yeah.
You know the weight of everything,
Yeah.
and then you put it on track, and you're like, "Oh my god, it's too heavy."
Not incorporate
How?
paint.
Like, how did
weight.
you not know how heavy it was
Yeah.
going to be? You made every part.
take an
You
extra
can add
mold
material
out?
properties
Yeah.
for every one of those things.
Yeah.
Oh, it's at the factory. Put it on scale. Like, I don't understand how you
Yeah.
become overweight by testing it. It's like, are they not? I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe they're not allowed to
I don't
put fluids in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
So
know.
maybe there's some weird thing that they can't figure out. But anyways, they're like, oh, there could be even less color.
Yeah.
There could be a lot less color. There could be even less color. Because
Yeah.
they're like, oh, now it's overweight.
Yeah. That's
So
crazy.
that part's frustrating.
That sucks. Well, I
And-
mean, maybe it's like paint is not an exact science, kind of like
That was-
fiberglass.
That was his point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you never know how thick it is, but it's still grams.
That's what I was saying to him too. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe there's like something in the mix. Maybe I don't know. I was just thinking maybe it's also that when they model up and these renders, like maybe they work in different divisions with different departments catting up different stuff. So maybe like the guys that are working on the main chassis part, they allocate
yeah.
a certain amount of mass to aero,
Mhm.
but maybe the aero components actually go a little over, and maybe there's like loss in communication or something. Because that's kind of the point I was making to him. It's like we at our company, we work on projects that might range from like $10,000 to $500,000 at
Yeah.
like the top end probably. And there's communication issues all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
I can't imagine in like one of these teams like trying to get that shit right, especially with like the level of precision that they're trying to
Yeah.
nail with the machine shops.
Yeah.
So I imagine that, and like listening to War Mode, they made a good point. Like with GCs and houses, like paint is the last thing. So with
Yeah.
paint, it's like do it as cheaply and as quickly as you can.
Make it
So
white.
it might literally be the
Yeah.
same fucking shit that they're just like, we're rushing, paint's the last thing, fuck it,
be
just
honest,
throw
yeah.
something on there, doesn't matter. Just get it
Probably,
out.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
If you're heavily focused on the engineering, you don't care about the paint that much. Yeah.
True, but so does that's what seems crazy that to me that all right, we built the whole car and we're at the weight limit.
Yeah.
We're perfect. It's like so
Technic-
will not
I-
account at all for paint.
Yeah.
I do
I
agree
don't-
with
I
you.
feel like
That
they
is true.
should. Yeah.
No, I do agree with you. Like
There
if
should
the
be,
FIA should make a rule
Yeah.
that it's just like it
Or
has
it's
to
gotta
be 80%.
painted.
Yeah.
You know what? The first thing that I thought of when I even said that to myself,
What?
I was like, cool. They'll just paint the bottom side of everything then, because like if we have to paint it, we'll put it at the lowest spot. We'll make sure that it's the best engineering spot to put paint. That's where my head went when they're like, "Oh, you're gonna make me do it." It's like, I don't want to put it where I want
That
to.
would be
Start
lame.
painting the floors.
That would
They're
be
oh,
lame.
The
no,
halo's
it's paint.
always carbon
Yeah.
fiber, just exposed carbon
Yeah,
fiber.
exactly. I could see them pulling some crap like that.
Yeah.
but
Maybe.
it's painted. So, and then nothing else. So they'll
then
update this when the other teams drop
4
their
more
stuff.
releases.
Yeah, technically, they still think McLaren's got a drop date on the same day as Mercedes. So next
Oh,
Wednesday, or
Silver
next
arrows.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So they'll actually hopefully show the car. But
That'd be
for
cool.
whatever reason, they just dumped their livery
Yeah.
before everybody else. But So that's what went on this week. That was cool.
What kind of sucks though about the remaining 4 teams is that you kind of already know what to expect.
Yeah.
So it's not. Is
Yeah.
it even worth tuning in for a green, red,
Green, red,
silver, and a
maybe silver, probably black carbon like they did last year.
true?
Yeah,
And then
another Red Bull.
Maybe
They're all going
red
to look
and blue.
like that. So
Yeah.
Probably the same Red Bull with like an updated,
Yeah.
updated livery.
they'll do what they did at the special events where they had like, oh, we have a Miami livery.
Yeah,
Oh, we have a Vegas livery. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, cool. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably going to be the same car. And everyone's going to be like, ooh. And
Just
then no one's going
vinyl.
to see any aero
Yeah.
because they're going to wait 2 weeks until they do testing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, this is a version of the RB19 or an
Yeah.
evolution of the RB19, the RB20.
Oh,
ooh,
great.
Wow.
Wow. I don't
So-
know. Maybe for the Ferrari one, people
Wow.
will show up because of Lewis.
maybe,
That's
maybe,
2025.
yeah, but it would
That's
still
right.
be cool if he was there for that.
That would be cool, but I feel like they're
Very unlikely.
Mercedes is gonna be
conflict
like, don't
of
do that.
interest. Yeah.
You can't be there.
Yeah.
How much are they going to
One more
milk
year.
this with like Drive to Survive? Holy fucking
The
shit!
beginning of the 2024 season will be insane, and
Yeah.
then that's going to be the underlying theme probably throughout the entire. Depending on how the season goes, it'll be the underlying theme.
Well, I
last-
can
Well,
see,
eventually, when Lewis is
Yeah.
at Ferrari, it's like, all right, cool.
I can definitely see like FIA or whoever owns F1.
Yeah.
FA is like the sanctioning body who helps host
Who's
the
the
regulations. F1 like runs the.
who runs the
series.
media stuff?
F1. F1 runs media, and
Okay.
F1 is owned by Liberty Media now. So that's the.
Point being, like I could definitely see them incentivizing this move to literally just create more and more buzz with Drive to Survive and just grow
Probably.
that
Yeah.
way more and more and more.
I can see it.
Well, they got rid of Gunther or Gunther.
They've
so
been-
we gotta have something to talk about.
The thing about Formula One is that it's not. There are so many fucking polarizing figures.
Yeah.
There's so many characters in the sport
Yeah.
that like it doesn't matter if like you said Gunther's out or whatever. Like there's always
It's
gonna be
another
someone
story.
else that's gonna
It's another
pop
story.
up.
Yeah.
So that is cool.
Yeah, I can see them wanting to they'll pull some BS to make something out of nothing at some
Yeah.
point too. I'm not saying the Lewis thing is nothing, but I'm saying though that's technically 2025. Right?
It
so
gives
what's supposed to
me-
happen this year? Red Bull is hopefully not going to be as far ahead as everybody.
Yeah.
The best thing that everyone's talking about
Imagine.
is that they didn't qualify crazy during
Yeah.
last year. They
Mhm.
just had the best race pace. So that's why Max could qualify 10th and then still win.
Yeah.
The
Oh.
car over a race was just better. Like
Yeah.
Ferrari, Mercedes, they had pole positions.
Yeah.
They were the fastest car some weekends
Right.
over one lap.
Yeah.
But then
But
they
not
wouldn't
for
have
all-
tires on lap
yeah.
2. And then Max is like, oh, lap 50. Cool.
Lap 50.
Fine. Yeah. So it's just like that's what everyone's hoping to shorten up the gap. Is
Yeah.
just by all right, we're better over a race.
Mm.
Because Red Bull wasn't that great over one lap.
No. Yeah. Most of their races were won like in the multiple laps. Long time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, my theory is just I think someone offered Lewis a big bag to make the move. And I think similarly to kind of what's happening with Taylor Swift and like the NFL,
Yeah.
how people are like speculating that she's like a plant to just like, have them grow the NFL to a bigger audience. I can see that. It's the same thing that's happening all over the place. Like Shane Gillis with Bud Light and
Oh my
reviving that brand. And then like
Yep.
When
there
did
was
this
someone
happen?
else. I forgot.
Like last week.
Oh,
was
really?
Shane saying, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
What was the other thing that happened to him?
that's
Same,
funny.
SNL.
Yeah,
He's gonna
SNL
host
thing too,
SNL.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
24th.
the
This month.
24th, Saturday the
Damn.
24th.
So after being fired before even showing his face,
Yeah.
5 years later, I'm hosting.
Yeah.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Oh man.
So,
Shea Gillis.
Isn't it
Oh,
fun? I
he's-
just, stuff like that is funny.
all that to say that, like, beloved, like, figures are getting paid to,
It makes you feel like there's an underlying incentive, like you said, for
I'm-
all these other moves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened with FIFA, right? With Messi and all the
Yeah,
Miami
true.
stuff.
Yeah.
And-
That's
I don't
another
know
good
anything
example of
about
that.
yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
When I don't know if you remember at work, we talked about it for a little bit that Messi signed with a team in Miami
I remember the headline.
for
but
the,
I don't-
what's the league called? I don't know.
I don't know exactly.
Premier
I don't
League or
no,
something.
it's not.
I don't know shit.
I don't know much about soccer anymore. I used to watch.
It's
when I
like
was
the
younger.
American like
The MLS?
NFL league
Yeah.
kind of.
MLS?
MLS, there you go.
Soccer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
MLS.
Okay. Just put an M in front of it.
Gonna
and it's
get
probably
lit up by the fucking.
one of the U.S. sports like
Yeah.
MLB,
MLB.
MLS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically that team went from, having tickets selling at like $20, $25,
Yeah.
to like
$1,000.
$400
Literally,
tickets because Messi is now playing for the team
100x. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they wanted to get FIFA
and all the merch and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, they wanted to get FIFA like really big in the United States, and then they signed one of the biggest players from Europe in one of the hottest markets, probably. I think.
Dude, isn't that interesting? I just thought of that like it's two sports that are really big not in the US and they're just like pigeonholing it
They've
in
recently been.
into
They
the
realized
US.
a country of 330 million
30
people
million people.
might want to watch something.
And,
yeah,
And
maybe
we're
if we
tired
get
of
them
watching
a
our
big
football players
name,
get knocked out.
yeah.
and a country of.
That's why we'll
people-
throw Taylor Swift in there. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, get all the girls in. It's
Yeah.
like, God,
And you
Jesus.
know, this country is already obsessed with sports.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
We'll attach to them immediately. So it's like
100%. So if you have like a
everything
storied
from pickleball
franchise,
to F1.
you have a storied franchise like Ferrari,
Yeah.
the championship, the most championships, right? And then you have like a beast of a driver like Lewis.
The statistic best
It's-
driver ever.
Yeah. So
and
it's gonna be
they're
nuts.
like, hey, why don't you enact that clause we talked about?
Yeah, it's
Don't you bail?
also like they on top of they create a story, right? Because it becomes like the hero's journey of now Messi has to lead this ragtag team of players that
Yeah.
From
aren't the
Miami.
best,
Yeah.
but with his leadership, they're excelling and they're
Yeah.
gonna win the title. And it's gonna,
It's
you
the
know what I
same-
mean?
It's the same thing with Ferrari.
Same thing with Ferrari.
Yeah, exactly.
Lewis jumped
Their
ship from
cars are-
McLaren
yeah.
1 year before regulation changes.
Yep.
What is he doing? He's going to jump ship 1 year before regulation changes.
Yep.
Maybe Ferrari wins a championship 2026. Everyone loses their mind.
I can see it. There's so
I
much
can
room
see
there
it.
for a conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's
So-
gotta be. There's gotta be something there.
Never ending.
Yeah.
Anyways, on that note, thank you guys for tuning in to Lightning Cast.
Yes, sir.
I think we messed up we kept saying this was like episode 2, but it was like, I remember listening to this from the last one.
Yeah,
It's episode 2 of like 2024 is what that
Oh.
was, but it's technically like episode 5.
it is 5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah, so it's turned into episode 5.
Episode 5 of the Lightning Cast. We hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. Check out our Etsy page, guys. We have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of our own designs and products for
Buy my NASCAR keychains.
everyday goods and some niche, just stuff that we kind of are into.
Yeah.
So check us out there.
We should probably start doing this type of thing at the beginning.
Beginning, middle, end.
Yes.
Every time we clip it. Hey, by the way, why don't you check out our There's the self-ad reads.
Exactly.
It's like already pre-recorded.
Oh man, I gotta show you guys something.
All right.
But
We're
yeah.
gonna make like Linus, Linus Tech Tips.
Oh yeah.
We'll look them up after.
Yeah.
All right.
We gotta make those smooth.
Till next time.
See you guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you.